Welcome back to the Underdog Jets podcast and Victory Monday. I think we titled this one the second one out of the first 4 weeks, the AFC North Gauntlet, and they go 2-2. Giants 3-1, Jets 2-2. You know, in terms of New York football, if you asked New York football fans, hey, 5-3 after the first month, would you sign up for it? They would do it in a hurry. Wayne, Zach Wilson came back. I don't think those Joe Flacco truthers are chatting it up today.
No. Yeah, happy Victory Monday. Yeah. I had said, he was a good, stay for a couple weeks, but it's Zach Wilson's job and it will be for a while. And I'm glad he went in there. I knew it would take him a little bit to get going based on that having the preseason work and being his first game, but he surely got cooking in the second half and in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I kind of felt this way before going in. Like we would know right away on the first series, just by looking at him, whether he was confident, comfortable. And although the results weren't there, the makeshift offensive line contributed to it. You could tell he was confident. Like it was the confident Zach Wilson, and I felt good things were coming. After his first pick, the switch kind of flipped off a little bit, but the biggest thing at what you want out of your quarterback is on third down in nut crunching time. Do you deliver? And he delivered time and again.
Yeah, I didn't think they had 6 third down conversions. But the biggest thing going in, I'm thinking, they got some new weapons, but all reliable was Corey Davis, who was his, had the best rapport with last year, especially in the beginning of the year when he first came out. So that's who we went to. When it's time, sprinkle on a little Garrett Wilson and a throw from Braxton Berrios. And that was the perfect recipe for a upset win yesterday.
Yeah, and Jets did a good job with this one, keeping it a secret. AVT played left tackle. This man played left guard as a rookie last year, got switched to right guard this year, trying to pair him with Mekhi Becton, power right side. Didn't know what they were going to do because Dwayne Brown's still on IR. I think he's going to be good for this week, but I'm not positive. If Max Mitchell even goes down during the game, I mean, they've had their top 4 tackles injured. Their starting quarterback play 1 game out of 4, and they're 2-2. But credit AVT. This guy is right up there in terms of their best players. And I tell people this, he's talented, no question. But being the best player on the team or being one of the best players, the leaders, it's not just about talent.
Yeah.
He's no nonsense, tough, available. You never hear a peep from him. He goes to left tackle, and he does a good job.
Yeah. You got to credit that to Joe Douglas getting back into the first round and picking him up. But I saw the kid that got hurt. He's not out for the year. It's just on IR. I think he dislocated his kneecap.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how things turn out with injuries sometimes. But they pieced it together. And it's going to be tough. They did give Zach time, but like you said, he showed what he's all about. Like I said, I'm just happy to have him back, man. I didn't realize someone called me and was just saying, "Wow, did you see that?" And I didn't know what it was. And then I saw the score, and I was like, "How did that happen?" And then I look, I'm like, "Yeah, there's a big comeback."
What, you're talking about the fourth quarter comeback?
Yeah, I mean, what have we led for in the 2 wins? Not
very much. Not much time whatsoever. I mean,
that's a testament to Coach Sala, keeping these guys focused on the task at hand, and I love the fact that they're winning on the road, and the wins at home will come.
Yeah, if there's one thing this really indicates is that these guys never give up. Do they have to clean up some stuff in terms of maturity? Sure. Some of the scheme stuff still have to come, for sure. But they never give up, and that's a sign of a football team coming together, trusting one another, and you can't really ask for much more at this point. And in terms of Zach Wilson, look at this play, Wayne. Look at the anticipation on the comeback to Moore.
Right.
Decides to throw it right here. He knows it's single coverage everywhere. The hips are turned here. So we trust Moore to win one-on-one.
And the coverage underneath, the guys has his back to him.
Yeah.
Covering the slot. He completely turns his back to him.
Yep.
So that's perfect, and he just threw it right over the top. Yeah, this is throws that Flacco's not making, and not a lot of guys in the league are making. This kid's special, I'm telling you.
Yeah, these are the type of throws. I mean, you got to understand, not a lot of offensive coordinators, even in the NFL, trust their quarterback to make that type of throw. 15, 20-yard comeback, deep sideline. That's incredible. And then the pocket on top of it. Decent pass blocking. I don't think the O-line was that big a deal as people, 6-man rush, good pass protection. He was confident the whole time in the pocket. I don't think they were that bad. It wasn't ideal, but he stood in there and
He
played
felt
great.
it, and he still stepped into the pass. Yeah, those long routes outside the numbers, that's a tough throw, especially like in MetLife Stadium. This kid can make all the throws. He can throw the whole route tree.
Yeah, and that's what I think separated him from the other guys that went after him when
Yeah.
watching him at BYU.
Let's see what we got.
Yeah,
Wayne,
what
I
do you got?
want Rich DeBow. Wayne, I want Quinton to stay a long time. Any guess on when and if we give him that large contract? Generally, contracts aren't given during the season for the most part, but I know that he's a main focus, main cog in that defense. So I can't see any reason why they wouldn't look to keep him long term. He's a big piece of the puzzle, and I think they should try to do whatever they can to keep him.
Yeah, I do too. And you could see the talent. He may be arguably the most talented guy on the team, and he's winning one-on-one. So you got to do what you can to keep him. Hopefully he just busts out this year. Hopefully you see it in the numbers too.
Yeah. Listen, he should have made the Pro Bowl last year. It didn't happen that way, and he's getting better every year, and he's become a dominant guy on the defensive line in the league. Not saying he's the next Aaron Donald, but he's getting toward the upper tier.
Yeah. Jet Up Buttercup asks, is that tipped interception of Conklin off Conklin's mitts Zach's fault or Conklin's? I mean, listen, I think the first mistake is viewing it black or white. Both guys. You can't. Conklin was wide open, so Zach delivered a high ball. You can't have your tight end outstretched trying to leap up to make the pass. So it was a bad pass. And then if you're Conklin, you want to bring it in or at least do something to make sure it's not a dangerous play. So I would go both guys there.
Yeah, the worst majority of the picks in the league are tip passes, which isn't always the fault of the quarterback, or receivers falling down or out of the break or something like that. So it's part of the game. I don't blame the quarterback for maybe it's 50-50 quarterback receiver's fault.
Yeah. Snowball says the Flying Dutchman with an exclamation point. He remembers the old nickname there.
Yeah, back in the early 90s, a long time ago, and they became the Hofstra Pride, which wasn't a big fan of. But the weird thing was we were the Flying Dutchman, but we have a lion and a lioness as our mascots.
Yeah.
Which was funny because we had a girl in the lion costume and a guy in the lioness, which was kind of weird how they went back and forth. I don't know why they did that, but those are the good old days, man. What is that? Who was that wearing Joyner's jersey? I guess we're talking about LaMarcus Joyner with his 2 interceptions. Listen, he's a solid player. He had some bad games. I understand that, but you're only as good as your last game, and last game was pretty good.
Yeah, he really had a great game, and it was more than just the stats too. Like if he really did a good job.
Yeah, Rich. Again, another question. I've been a big defender of Corey Davis. Didn't understand the trashing by Jets fans. Want him back. 2, love our 3 receivers. Any chance he comes back to? Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he? Like I said, he has the best rapport with Zach Wilson. Zach likes to go with him when it's a crucial time, like he did that's the last 2 drives. So, they got to do whatever they can to keep the pieces together because this is a young offense. We need another lineman or 2, young tight ends. I mean, this is a good offense that could just build in the next, 5 to 10 years.
Check this play out, Wayne. This was the big crosser to Garrett Wilson when they were down 10, 3rd down, so you had to have it. Steelers running a cover 1 robber, basically, and that's how Minkah Fitzpatrick gets all his picks, by the way. They just let him freelance underneath with single high, and he reads the quarterback's eyes. That's what he tries to do, but watch what Wilson does here with his eyes. Looking left, looking left, looking left. He knows Garrett Wilson's coming across. Fitzpatrick's reading Zach. And right now he knows.
Yeah.
So that's just, I mean, For a sophomore quarterback to get this veteran all-pro safety, just stuck, that's an incredible play. And he
Yeah.
throws against his body with an open stance. So that's some of the stuff that we saw that you can't help but be excited for the future.
Yeah. You got to be. I mean, listen. All right, he was the third pick in the draft. What was he?
Second
pick in the draft. I mean, yeah, you expect big things, but man, he's the complete package. And he can run the ball. He could run with the ball if he needs to. He could extend the play. But yeah, that's film watching. He sees that guy being a robber down there as one of the best safeties in the league. And part of it is he knows where he's going. He just has to look that guy off or look the safety off. And that's, in no time he's going to be doing a no-look pass like Stafford or Mahomes on that. I mean, he's capable of all that stuff thrown against his body, across his body. So, yeah, a lot of cause for optimism. And this week, they're going against another tough defense. But, listen, if they can just give this kid some time, they have the weapons.
Yeah, Ryder and Talon's – what is that? Ryder and Talon's PA? I don't know, Pa? I felt like a light went on for Zach in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I mean, it kind of did. And, I tweeted it before it happened. I said, and fans cursed me out, and I understand why. They're down 10. And I said, the only positive here is that the in-structure play goes out the window, and you just have to throw, and you can't think anymore, and you just have to let it go. And it kind of worked to their benefit. They still ran the ball, which put them in difficult spots, but they continued going back to the well over the middle, with RPO or play action, and Zach, the light did go on.
Yeah. Listen, once LaFleur finds what's working the best for him, it puts him in those situations to better. But the good coordinators and the good head coaches, making the moves and the corrections and the adjustments at halftime and, later in the game, that little chess match with the other coordinators is what makes a team be successful. And I think they won the battle when they needed to in the fourth quarter. Like I said, how many games have they all played together?
Not many.
Those receivers with that quarterback with that line, there's no consistency there. They need that to happen as the season goes on.
Yeah, someone said it in the comments, here's the 4th and 7 play that really kept things alive, the Corey Davis. And again, it was another one where Zach looks left and then looks right and knows it's man coverage again. They just tore up man coverage.
Yeah. Listen, these guys are talented. And listen, we haven't even talked about Breece Hall yet or Michael Carter.
No.
What is Michael Carter, second year? Breece Hall first
year?
Michael
Carter second year, Breece is first.
Yeah. They if Becton was healthy and Dwayne Brown was there and Veer Tucker's in his natural position, I mean, you're looking at top, third of the league in offense. I mean, you need injuries, to not happen. You got to stay healthy, but just look at that. Look, and the tight ends they have now. It's just the line right now. This is we're one or two guys away from being an explosive offense.
Yeah, and the offensive line. Let me ask you this: how many teams would be successful if their top 4 tackles get hurt and their starting quarterback plays 1 out of 4 games?
Yeah, it's not likely.
No.
And listen, Zach said it's an ugly win. And I was talking to some people. Listen, when we had that year, we had a ton of ugly wins. They call us the Shreks of football. Everything we won ugly, and Herman Edwards kind of embraced that, handing out the.
Yeah, I remember that Shrek year.
The ears, the Shrek ears, and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's a win. It's 2 wins. Maybe at one quarter to go in each game, you didn't actually see this was going to happen. But they've been in every game. They've been a couple plays away in every game. And to start off with those 4th games versus that division, that's to come out of that 2-2. I think is if you could have signed up for that, you would have took that going into the season.
Here's an interesting question from Marvin Guns. Why is Zach missing those short layup passes? I also think he throws the ball too hard sometimes. Needs a little more touch, like Pennington. Thinks.
Well, if you're running a route, you want that ball on you fast. You want it coming out of your break and put on you. But yeah, there's a such thing as good touch. Depends on the route. Depends on whether it's man or zone, stuff like that. So I
And
can't
if you think,
disagree with people for what they see, but they got to understand, like, you got to be able to handle those tough throws and those hard throws. I mean, that's why you get paid the big bucks to catch it. So, yeah, maybe he could work on it, but he makes all the throws. He has those all in his arsenal.
yeah, and if you think about it, if the worst thing that Wilson has to fix, has to correct, is that he's not hitting the layup throws, the swings, the stuff over the middle where it's just easy stuff that gets to him where he thinks it's too easy and he goes too casual and it's just fundamentals. He's way ahead of the game.
Yeah, Wayne, would you have completed that pass to Zach? I think
Oh, that's right.
one pass in my career, and I was away on the through Lavernius.
I don't
It
remember you
worked
throwing
well
a
in
pass,
practice, but
really.
it was different. And that's why I got to give credit to Curtis for he actually threw 2 touchdown passes to me. But it wasn't so much that I was like, not young. I really don't know about the gritty dance, but I'm assuming he did it right because he got a lot of props on social media.
Yeah, I have no idea. I was calling it. I didn't even know it was called gritty. I thought it was grinny with
Right.
ends at first.
Well,
So
you're older than me, so
yeah, I mean, I may have that, but let's calm down. Calm down right there.
so yeah. Listen, they're having fun out there. They got nothing to lose. They really
Yeah.
have nothing to lose at this point. You know what I mean? They're down in the game. They're going on the road. Chips are against them, and yeah, here you go.
Yeah, you making that throw?
I'm not like I probably throw it underhand just to make sure I get it there. There's the dance. Yeah,
All right,
and
let's see it
listen,
again.
it's crazy, but somehow this play keeps working. You see
Yeah,
number
it does,
at the
right?
end of the line. Like, how do you not see that guy sneaking out? And don't even try to cover him. Just grab Zach and just take the half the distance to the goal line penalty for holding.
Right. Yeah, let's analyze this dance here.
Now you think his knee wasn't healthy? He couldn't be doing that dance. So
Yeah, this is
he's
true.
good to go. He's good.
Yeah. Did your boy say anything about the dance?
I showed him, and I guess that's what the young kids are doing.
Yeah.
But people were like, "Oh, he just scored a touchdown." Wayne used to like put the ball down and act like it was
Barry
just
Sanders.
a touchdown. He's been to listen. You get excited. You scored a touchdown in the NFL, and I doubt he'll ever get a pass. Catch another one, maybe 1 or 2 in his career. So listen, let him have fun. It wasn't so much of it's just a circumstance coming back. He had to be excited, not having played and being, wanting to get out there, and he was just celebrating with his teammates.
Mm-hmm. Here's one for you, Wayne. And did you happen to see the Tua play on Thursday night?
I saw the end of it, but
Mm-hmm.
I know they fired that doctor that
Yes.
cleared him. And it's just a situation. Actually, not to bore you, but I was just talking to my wife, and there's a kid, 12-year-old. We know the family, and the doctor's like, "Oh, he's fine." I'm like your kid, like the coach, teammates. Your player. Too. You know them. You know if they're not right. That guy wasn't right. Someone needs to step up and say, "Just step aside." I know we're doing good. It's early in the season, but just like with this kid, the doctor, I said, "No, your kid. If something's off and he ain't right, and I did that. I went back in when I wasn't right, and my family knew it. And I wish they would have stopped me, and they should have stopped Tua from playing. And I'm glad they came out and said he wasn't going to play versus us, which makes me happy. But that they're actually taking care of the guy now.
Yeah, there's a fine line with, always wanting to play and tough it out, which you got to expect the player's going to want to do that. So you got to protect them.
No, listen, we're not going to protect ourselves. I promise
Exactly.
you. Some guys might. I don't know. I wasn't gonna. And like you said, if you're the OC, you're the head coach, or you're another quarterback in the room, you got to see that he wasn't right. It's behind the eyes. You're glazed over.
Thursday
It
night
just doesn't
game
look
too.
right.
Thursday night game too. Like
Yeah.
that's the capper. And thanks Snowball for bringing that up. That's a good good point.
James D. Wayne, would you ever try being NFL head coach? If so, how would you run your system, and what kind of players would fit your system? Yeah, I would never want to be a head coach. I wouldn't want to be any kind of coach. Just not my thing. The system, I like the wide open systems that gets the receivers the ball in space, single back, spread them out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have the right personnel. And I think you could put those four guys out there and spread them out, one of those running backs in the back. And that would be fun to watch, but, you just need to protect the guy. But somebody wrote Zach Mobile. I hope it was a statement and not a question. There was no because, he is mobile. I mean, didn't he have like a 50, 60-yard run last year?
Yeah.
Bumbling.
Bumbling. Yeah, that was a good run.
If need be, he can run the ball. And that's
Stephen Engel says, does LaFleur know that you're allowed to call a screen pass? I think he's being sarcastic, folks. Listen, with the screen pass, and Wayne knows because he had the perfect offensive line for the screens. Mawai, even a center getting out there. You got to have the right linemen, and right now the line's in shambles. They couldn't run the ball yesterday. You have to be together. You have to know each other, and I think that's the main problem right now.
Yeah, the tackle needs to get out there to get that second defender. The first one's on the receiver, then the lineman, and then the receiver has to make the third one miss. I mean, it's just how it is. Mawai is the first guy. What made him so special was, on runs you get the tackles pulling, the guards pulling.
Yeah.
He was the first guy that could be one person more in and pull and get past the guard and the tackle. Yeah. You got to be some kind of athlete to turn and beat your own running back, to beat Curtis to the hole to lead block for him. That's
especially after snapping the ball.
Snapping the ball and doing that and not giving it away. He wasn't light on his back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. And that's why he's one of the best centers to ever play the game.
Yeah. Him and Mangold, man. Those two are just both ridiculous.
Is King Blaze. Zach could work on his play action a little bit. Sure, that'll come with time. But you gotta be able to run the ball. If you run the ball, sets up everything else. So they'll get into that, man. It just so you understand, King Blaze. If you're gonna do play action, you're doing a 7-step drop.
Yep.
You have to be pretty much. For the most part, if you're sending up a deeper route, 5-7-step drop, he doesn't have time. He's faking the handoff. He's turning his back to the defense. He's looking back at the line and they're on him already. So they'll mix that in once they.
Most of the play actions yesterday were the RPO stuff where you just pull it and pass real quick. Yeah. Pull it, stand up.
That's all they can do. Yeah, that's all they can.
We got to get your opinion on this because Lawson fans were irate at Lawson and at the officials, but I saw a lot of hate towards Lawson on this, and my point was, hey, this is football. This is a bang bang play, and if I'm the coach, I never want my guy to hold up in this situation because it's too close. Do you think this one warranted a 15-yard flag based on the timing?
It's bang bang. They can't review it, but I don't know, man. They gave a penalty on that?
Yes.
It's 2 steps.
He
didn't hit him low. He didn't hit him high.
It was perfect.
Listen, the one last week or 2 weeks ago on Franklin Myers, it was late. He pushed the guy and then he buried him. He jumped on him. What are you going to put your arms back?
Listen, let
me see this angle here.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm really looking at it again after going back and forth with Jets fans. And I understand you don't want to see a 15-yard penalty, but man, I'm never telling that guy to hold up there because you cannot ask a guy to stop in mid-flight like that. Just doesn't work. You can't play that way.
He would hurt himself.
Yes.
More often than not, he would hurt himself rather than hurting the quarterback, trying to just do that. This is knees or Achilles or whatever it is. It's not normal to be able to stop.
Can't play that way. His head is to the side.
Yeah, his head's to the side. He didn't spear him.
No, you can't play that way.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations where if I'm the coach, I understand they're protecting the quarterback, but I'm not telling the guy, hey, you got to be smarter. JFM play? Yes. That Lawson play? No way.
Yeah, that play was that was such a stupid play the week before. But you learn. You know what I mean? You learn, and they got away with it. They got the win and on to a tough opponent that doesn't have their starting quarterback. I was talking to Lavernius. Lavernius said that they might be better off with Bridgewater playing. And I don't know. Listen,
what is his reasoning for that?
He just thinks he can throw a better deep ball. He's a better overall quarterback. And yeah, he's skilled. He's a veteran. He's got the weapons in Tyreek and Waddle and Gesicki. I mean, they don't have the running game, that other teams have, but those guys can get after it. I mean, they get down the field fast in a hurry, those two receivers.
What do you think about Miami this weekend? If the Jets win, if they finally get a home game, geez, the narrative's going to quickly change in the NFL and the AFC East.
Yeah, listen, Buffalo's the top tier. I mean, what's the Patriots' record?
They are 1-3 right now.
Yeah, so I think we match up good with them. I think we match up good with Miami. It's a whole nother story playing Buffalo. You don't know what's going to happen to them. But yeah, I think they match up fine. And I think they're due to get their first home win. It's Legends Weekend. So a ton of the old players going to be back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Place is going to be jumping. And I just like the fact that Zach's first game was on the road because he started slow, which was expected, having not played in the preseason. And, we didn't want to hear the Mike White chants and all that stuff. But coming in there, they should give him some, little leeway how things start because he's going to be the quarterback and you win and you lose with him. And that's just what it is, Jet fans.
Yeah, and the atmosphere, again, it's completely different. I went down to the locker room after the game, and the first person who I saw who was there was Woody Johnson by the locker room door, congratulating everyone coming into the locker room. And, it was all good vibes. So if they can carry it into Miami this weekend against a backup quarterback, and they played Bridgewater, someone mentioned it. I think Buttercup. They played Bridgewater last year in Denver.
Yeah.
So there's film with the same defense. So we'll see what happens.
Let's look at some other questions before we go.
Yeah, get your questions in last few minutes here.
Kenny Pickett, game manager. Listen, better than Trubisky. I mean, he's a Pittsburgh guy. He's a home favorite. I think did they say every pass he threw was completed?
It was at one point I saw he was 10 for 12 with 2 interceptions. So no ball hit the ground. I think
he was 10 for 13 with 3 interceptions. So
that's right, because the last one was a pick.
Yeah,
so yeah,
not one ball hit
not one ball hit the ground.
Teddy whooped it us on Buffalo, the top team. I mean, you can't question that right now. I know Miami beat them. Either you find it's odd that we're 2-0 away and 0-2 at home. I'm sure this will level out by the end of the year, but I'm not surprised. It's just sometimes it's easier to play on the road.
Mm-hmm.
New York's a tough place to play. And, New York fans are not patient and get restless, and I don't blame them because when you're out there, you want to come out firing, and sometimes Jets are slow starters like they've been. So, they're going to win. It will even out. You got to get the home game. You got to get the home wins versus AFC East. And I think they're set up to do that. I think they're really set up to do that this week. I'm not sure what the weather is going to be, how bad it's been here for the last couple of days, but I don't think it matters. I think based on what I saw this week, they kind of like took the next step.
Yeah, and the interesting thing too about the Miami game is LaFleur, Jets offensive coordinator, and the Dolphins head coach. They were together in San Francisco. So these coaching staffs know each other very well. So it'll be very interesting to see this game and the future ahead, how these two teams go against one another.
Legend Killer says Jets never have a home field advantage. Listen, it's not Giant Stadium. It's MetLife Stadium. They light it up green when we play and light it up blue when Giants play. It's what we have. We share a stadium. But it's not the same when Giant fans or Jet fans in there. Jet fans are just more passionate.
They're more rabid. They're starving.
Yeah, Jets fans are, lunch pail, blue collar, like just tough, like been through some shit, been through some tough years.
Yeah,
battle hardened.
Yeah,
it's just
high Giants character.
Fans have the luxury of having some Super Bowls. So I will take the Jets fan base over anyone in the league.
Younger too. I mean, Giants have a long history, but considering they've been around since the 20s, Jets the 60s, it's going to be a younger fan base as well.
So we'll see, man. We'll see going into next week. Hopefully we could do another live show next week as we enjoy the questions.
Absolutely. All right, folks. JetsXFactor.com. Use discount code 80 to get your free 8x10 autographed Wayne Chrebet picture. Like us on iTunes, share our stuff, rate and review 5 stars. We love you anyway, but we'll love you more if you do the 5-star thing on iTunes, and then subscribe on YouTube too. Got to get that algorithm boosted. Wayno, we will see you next Monday, hopefully with the Jets record of 3-2.
Yeah. And thank everybody for showing up and the questions and your constant support. And hopefully we brought you some good content. And hopefully next week we are celebrating a win.
Absolutely. All right, Jets fans, catch you later.